Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with a CTV News update. Tennis phenom Frances Tiafoe is back home from the U.S. Open. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks organized a celebration in his honor. Laurencia Moten is in College Park and she joins us live now via the phone.
That's right, Taylor. I'm here at the Junior Tennis Champion Center for the welcome home celebration of Frances Tiafoe. Tiafoe recently defeated Rafael Nadal, one of the greatest players in men's tennis, and the number 2 player in the world at the time. He then advanced to the semifinals, becoming the first African-American in the U.S. Open semifinals since Arthur Ashe in 1972. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks invited everyone via social media to come congratulate Tiafoe on his spectacular performance. Tiafoe told the media that it feels so good to be back home, feeling all of the love from this county. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks says Frances made not only the state of Maryland proud, but the entire nation. And Taylor, let me tell you, fans are here. They have Frances Tiafoe big heads in their hands, and the love is just felt all around.
Thanks, Laurencia. Well, the county school board votes to accept the findings of a state investigation. That's according to former school member Edward Burrows. The Office of the Inspector General for Education concluded recently that board members who were targeted for removal were falsely accused. The OIGE said that an ethics report that targeted 7 members was factually inaccurate and omitted key exonerating statements from witnesses. Edward Burrows, who is now a county council member, was one of the targeted members.
I'm happy that the Board of Education voted to do this. I do know that members of the Board of Education knew the report was fake when they voted to concur with the findings the first time. And so essentially, you've just spent months, several months, distracting the board from its important work of doing what's in the best interest of students to engage in a political battle when you knew that the people that were accused were falsely accused from the very beginning.
The report in question was completed last year by the board's ethics advisory panel and leaked to some community members. It had accused 7 board members of a variety of offenses, including steering contracts and doing political favors. Burrows says the 7 members spent thousands of dollars defending themselves against the false accusations. The county's teachers union ratifies a new contract. The new deal includes a pay increase of 13% over the next 3 years. It also includes more teacher planning time and up to $100 a year to buy school supplies. The Prince George's Educators Association represents teachers, paraprofessionals, school nurses, and guidance counselors. Today, the nation honors POW MIA Recognition Day. It's a day to honor and remember the prisoners of war and the more than 85,000 U.S. service members who have never been accounted for since World War II. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin gave remarks today at a ceremony at the Pentagon.
Every year on National POW and MIA Recognition Day, we gather to honor American service members who were taken captive and to stand with the families of the missing and the unaccounted for, and to renew our commitment to bring home our missing heroes.
POW MIA Recognition Day always falls on the 3rd Friday in September. It was established as an act of Congress back in 1998. Maryland's GOP candidates for governor files a motion to block a court order that would allow early counting of mail-in ballots in the general election. The motion, filed in Montgomery County Circuit Court, was announced by Dan Cox yesterday, according to the Daily Record. In a statement, Cox says one of the reasons voters around the country have doubts about the 2020 election is because courts and executive overrode election law in response to COVID-19 executive orders. Cox rejected the 2020 presidential election results in which Democrat Joe Biden defeated Republican incumbent Donald Trump. All right, well, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. Of the 1,206 new cases, 167 area in Prince new cases were in Prince George's County. The county positivity rate is at 10.21%. So far this month, 111 Marylanders have died of COVID, including 7 over the past 24 hours. 445 people are hospitalized. That's 26 fewer than yesterday. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Coming up, the air show at Joint Base Andrews is back. We'll take you there right after the break. Stay tuned.
We grew up together. We believed in something bigger than ourselves. The military took me to one side of the world and her to the other. And even though she was always the strong one, when we caught up years later, I found out she had fallen on some hard times. It was her call to make, but doing it together made all the difference.
For veterans who are homeless or on the brink of homelessness, call 877-424-3838.
Welcome back. It's been 1 week since the countywide curfew for teens went into effect. Since enforcement started, the county says police encountered only one teenager out past curfew. Officials say on Monday night, a 16-year-old girl was found in a car with a person who had a gun. That person was arrested. The teenager was taken home and a written warning was given to her guardian. Parents, remember, the countywide curfew is expected to last for 30 days. Maryland's surprise surplus budget of $2 billion has leaders commenting on how the funds should be spent. Democrat nominee for State Comptroller Brooke Learman says that surplus is driven in part due to the federal stimulus package as well as increased tax revenue.
These are discretionary funds. So this is a result of an increase in personal income taxes, which increased by 15% due to better than expected results for tax year 2021. This is a result of general fund sales tax revenue increasing by almost 20%. So this is money that we have that's flexible money that we can think through smartly, right? Thinking smart and long term while also ensuring that we are making needed investments in families and communities right now.
Learman is holding roundtable tours across the state to gauge how the funds should be spent. Now, her first stop was in Laurel this morning to speak with municipal leaders. Learman faces Republican Barry Glassman in the November election. The Joint Base Andrews Air and Space Show is back. The event kicked off for military families and school students today.
3 years since Andrews Air Force Base has had an air show, and since then the name has changed to Joint Base Andrews Air and Space Expo. That's to incorporate the military's new division, the Space Division. And it's more than just about the air vehicles, seeing the planes in the air, but they have a lot of things dealing with science and technology. I'm sitting here in a MAT V. It's pretty amazing. This is one of the many things that you could do coming out to the expo.
So this is the MAT V. It is an up-armored vehicle. It weighs about 16,000 pounds. So it has ballistic glass, steel all around it. You can't get inside if you don't want them to get inside. So in the case if you roll over an explosion, an IED, improvised explosive device, the wheel will shoot 4 wheels off, and then it'll hit the ground and it'll turtle shell. And then you just call for backup and you just wait there.
Across the country, military bases are seeing a spike in attendance. Officials here at Joint Base Andrews are expecting 75,000 people to come out over the next 2 days. That's up from 50,000 back in 2019.
So we've got headlining the Thunderbirds. We also have some static displays like you see behind me. And then we'll have some exhibits all throughout. There's vendors, so there's anything that you really could imagine as far as getting out the word of how we really excel, innovate, and thrive here at Air Force.
The Air and Space Expo features 3 hangars with steam displays. On the tarmac, there are vendors, activities, and military vehicles, as well as aircrafts and one-on-ones with pilots like Captain Sean Hathaway.
The big thing is the gun. We got a Gatling gun, the GAU 8 on there with 30 millimeter rounds. So the rounds are about the size of a beer bottle. We hold just short of 1,200 rounds.
The 75th Annual Joint Base Andrews Air and Space Expo is this Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Now, all visitors must park at FedEx Field to get a free shuttle ride to the expo. The last shuttle pickup is at 1 p.m. For more information about the expo, go to jba.af@mil.
With his widow and former colleagues looking on, the official portrait of late Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings was unveiled at the U.S. Capitol this week. Cummings' portrait was commissioned by his wife, Dr. Maya Rocky Moore Cummings, and was painted by the Baltimore-based artist Jarrell Gibbs. Cummings died in October of 2019 at the age of 68.
The entire process has been a beautiful challenge. Being tasked with creating a painting of this magnitude for someone as important as the Honorable Elijah Cummings to be permanently housed in a place of such significance as the United States Capitol building seemed at times like an insurmountable feat.
It's still something that gnaws at me all the time to know that we lost him and he meant so much to all of us.
Elijah Cummings taught us as we served with him, sat with him, voted with him, worked with him in Maryland and in the nation's capital about duty, honor, country.
Cummings' portrait will hang in the House Oversight and Reform Committee room, the powerful panel he chaired for nearly 25 years. The man arrested for assaulting a senior citizen over the summer now faces murder charges. The suspect is 25-year-old Julius Wright. Back on June 2nd, police were called to the 11,000 block of Cherry Hill Road for an assault. Surveillance video captures Wright assaulting the victim, 87-year-old Johnny Shepard. Shepard died in late July. Recently, a medical examiner ruled that Shepard's death was due to complications from blunt force head injuries. A judge hands down a stiff sentence for a convicted murderer. Rendell Johnson will serve 2 consecutive life sentences plus 40 years for a double homicide. Now, as we reported back in July, he was found guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder and the use of a firearm. His conviction stems from a shooting that happened on the 5100 block of Fable Street in Capitol Heights back in April of 2019. The 2 victims were Trevor Frazier and Raymond Giles. Police have released surveillance video of a man wanted in connection with a murder. Look at this. This is a video of the suspect fleeing the scene. Police say it was on August 14th that someone shot and killed 20-year-old LaDanian McMillan of Seat Pleasant. It happened in the 5700 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Highway. Police say the suspect is also seen running on Eastern Avenue and 62nd Avenue into Fairmont Heights. Anyone who may have information is asked to contact police. Tomorrow is the 16th Annual Community Day Health Fair in Landover. It's hosted by the nonprofit wing of Special Care Dentistry. The health fair will offer free dental services as well as cholesterol, blood pressure, and diabetes screenings.
Extremely important because we get the community to come in, we get to educate them about oral health and how important it is for our overall health. And it also provides access to those who otherwise would not see a dentist or get any care otherwise.
The free event will run from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. tomorrow at 8700 Central Avenue, Suite 100 in Landover. Now, to pre-register, go to the web address that's on the bottom of the screen. Michael Jordan has made history yet again. Today, his signature Bulls 23 jersey was sold by Sotheby's for, get this, $10.1 million. It was not just any jersey, of course. It was the one that he first wore in the NBA Finals in 1998. Experts expected the auction to net about $3 million. The sale makes Jordan's jersey the most expensive jersey in sports history. And that's your CTV News Update. I'm Taylor Thomas. Thank you so much for sticking and staying and joining us tonight. Have a safe weekend.